day's a day, a bad luck's always a coming my way.
For today's Grimm adventure, we find ourselves in Whitby, or some like to call it the home of Dracula. Today we're going to be spending the entire day here roaming the streets and pointing out and visiting some of the places that inspired Bram Stoker to write Dracula, as well as some other vampire-esque haunts, if you will. The first stop on our little tour here is to the 199 steps. It's this staircase that goes up the hillside, up the cliff really, to the Abbey, to Whitby Abbey and St. Mary's Church. Now what's fun about this, we got two different options. One, we got these steps over here. It's 199 steps, or so they say. They ask you to count them yourselves, or you can take this rather steep road that's to the right of them. Now I point out that it's rather steep because the story goes, from at least what I read, that if you had money and your funeral was up here at the cemetery, this is the route that the horse and carriage would go. Rather steep though, right? Now just a quick heads up, this is the first thing that we're doing here in Whitby. A little bit of exercise in the morning, never really hurt anybody, right? So 199 steps, we're gonna take our time, and there's some very interesting things and some beautiful sights to see. I like that there's a sign here that says persons using the 199 steps do so at your own risk. And there's a sign here, it's a lamppost. Get up here a little bit. Whitby Abbey and St. Mary's Church. Gorgeous. Surprisingly, the 199 steps really isn't that bad. But truth be told, we keep stopping, taking in the views. I mean, look at this, whenever I pan the camera over to the right. This is the town of Whitby that inspired Bram Stoker to write Dracula. I mean, look at this. The sun coming up, hitting the buildings. Got the ocean. The sounds of the waves. And this is something else. Now, if you find yourself walking the 199 steps and you're getting tired, there are benches for you to sit at. Go ahead and have a seat, baby girl. Now, here's the thing. These benches weren't meant for sitting. You see, back in the day, whenever funerals would happen, the pallbearers carrying the casket up these steps. Yes, carrying the caskets up the steps. When they get tired, they would set the coffins on these little benches. They're called coffin benches. Neat, right? There's another coffin bench right there to the left. So they're a lot closer spaced than I thought they would be. So here we are at the top. And honestly, I thought it was gonna be a lot worse than it actually was. It really wasn't that bad. And here's a view looking down. Now, what's fun about this, in the book Dracula, in the novel Dracula, the very first few chapters, when Dracula's boat, well, the boat that he's on, his coffin and dirt are being transported to England, it crashes. It was the Demeter. In the book, they actually mention Whitby. They mention Whitby Abbey. They mention a few other things. We're going to be pointing them out. And whenever the boat crashes, Dracula, in the form of a black dog, runs up these same steps to the Abbey. The same steps we just walked up. Pretty wild to think about. Now, it looks like we're not the only people up here filming today. So there is a bit of a hot set, so we're going to try to stay out of everybody's shots. But over here on the left, there's one more coffin bench. That's this one right here. And then there's the cemetery off to the left-hand side, and then St. Mary's Church is that. Oh man, cannot believe that we are here. Like, I got goosebumps. Now right over here to the right, you can see it kind of popping its head. That is Whitby Abbey. And it's the ruins of an old church. It wasn't the first church here on site, but it is the church that Bram Stoker laid his eyes on that made him go, oh, wait a second. This is a great Gothic setting for Dracula. Look at this place. Now that is something else. Now here's the thing about this graveyard. Bram Stoker is said to have walked through it himself and took note of some of the names that are here. Now, in the book, Dracula, the very first victim, a man by the name of Swales, you can actually walk through this cemetery and find the tombstone with his name on it. We don't know where it's at. We just know that it's here, so we're going to look for it. How fitting is that? Now, we were able to find a picture online of Swales' tombstone, and we were able to match it up with the church in the background. And it's actually this one right here. It's going to be a little hard to see because it's been weathered so much. Let's see if we can get really close to it. Yeah. Might not be able to see it, but right here you can see the S, the W, the A, L-E-S. So this is the first victim in Bram Stoker's novel, Dracula. Wild, right? This is definitely one of those cemeteries I never in a million years ever thought that I'd get to visit. This is just beyond insane. I mean, some serious nutter butters. I mean, I turn the corner and there's Whitby Abbey looming over the graveyard. Wow. When we say Whitby is the home of Dracula, we mean it. We know for a fact that Bram Stoker came here for a holiday and he used Whitby as inspiration because Whitby itself is mentioned in the book. Whitby Abbey is mentioned in the book. St. Mary's Church is mentioned in the book. This cemetery that we're walking in right now was mentioned in the book. Then the steps were mentioned in the book. Swales, a name of somebody in real life, was the first victim. Talk about blowing your mind, right? And then there's also the ship that crashed. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. It's going to blow your mind. So let's see if we can get inside St. Mary's Church. It seems everywhere we go here in England, they have these amazing, beautiful churches. Look at all of this. I'm not gonna lie, baby girl, I freaking love this place. So it looks like it's open, yeah? I wasn't expecting this. I don't think I've ever seen a church that has these high pews that are enclosed. Pretty neat indeed. That blue plaque there says 15th century stone fronts. It's one of those churches pretty much everywhere you look. There's just something hidden in the corners. This is amazing. I definitely feel like I'm in the world of Dracula right now. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's music playing in the background here. It's kind of haunting. Beautiful, yet haunting. I love everything about this place. I mean, look at this. I will say this. The different churches here in England, I feel like they like to teach you something. They teach you about history. I love it that they have some things on display. Like this one right here. It says a Saxon baby coffin. It's pretty wild to see. Even the doors leaving the church has given me Dracula vibes, like wings. I just can't get enough of this place. I could spend all day up here. Now Jessica loves animals. And there are some horses over here, just off camera. So we're gonna go over and say hi to them real quick before we go look at the Abbey. I mean, I can't believe that we are here. And the fact that we get to come here with a camera, with YouTube, take you guys here to see this and experience it with us is something else. Is he eating or is he scratching himself? Oh, he's got an itch. Hello, horses. Oh, geez Louise. He's like, I gotta scratch this.
I'm gonna poke his eye out.
Oh, hello. Did you get that scratch? Oh, he's scratching his butt now. If you ever wanted to know what it looks like when a horse scratches his butt, that's it right there. Hello. Oh, geez Louise, you are massive. I'm gonna pet you. Baby, there's a giant horse here. Hello, I got no food. Hi. Oh, you are so friendly. Look at you. Hi. Oh. I know. Oh gosh. Oh, all right, this is something else. I did not expect this. I did not expect meeting you today. Oh, look at those teeth. You got chompers, my friend. Let's see them. Don't eat the camera. Right? Hello. What, I petted your face, you're gonna come back down and say hi to me? Or you just wanna be on camera? That's what you want. Oh, okay, I'll pet you. Yeah. I love you. I love you indeed. I'm gonna call you Dracula. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's time that we go and visit Whitby Abbey.
It takes so many people.
Right? I don't know what they're filming, but this is us filming them. Oh, it's fun.
Okay. All right, we're set. You happy, Emma?
Doing public right in the centre of that.
Grimm, you tell the tour group to keep on walking.
Yeah, I
they're
think we've
away.
already. And action!
So of course, we got a little bit of them filming. And they said, you can't film here, you gotta keep moving on. So from what we understand, if I'm not mistaken, the production is called Smoggy Creek. It's a comedy, kind of like TV show that they're filming here. They're just doing the pilot right now. And all right, let's go to the Abbey. And with that, welcome to Whitby Abbey. We got to keep in mind that it is a beautiful day. It is October and there are people everywhere. I'm going to do my best to capture everything. This is gloriously massive. Like, I've seen pictures of this place. I know the story of Dracula, but never in a million years, ever, did I think that I would be here looking at it. Now, when it comes to Halloween, this definitely has to be one of the coolest trips ever taken in my life. Oh man. Look at the size of this place. There's Jessica walking through the archway right now. It's beyond massive. It's crazy to think that basically we are inside, I do believe it's an 11th century church. Well, the ruins of it. But with a little bit of imagination, you can picture what it looked like back in its day. Seriously in awe. You can clearly see how Bram Stoker would pull inspiration for Dracula from this place. I mean, gosh. It almost looks alive. I'm shaking. You can't see it now, but at nighttime, since it's the month of October, they have lights on the Abbey. And there are some bat wings right here that light up. This place truly is beyond beautiful. I can see us living here. I mean, we get wet when it rains because there's no roof, but I'd live here. So look at that, Jessica knows what's up. She runs right over, and instead of like angel wings, it's bat wings. A little photo opportunity. Baby Goal, you gotta come over here and look at this shot. I can just picture like bats flying in and out of the archways. This is definitely one of the coolest Grimm Life Collective episodes, travels we've ever done coming here to Whitby. Well, that's kind of fun. There's a little sign here on the lawn that says, "Stop. Take off your shoes and stand where history happened." It's enough to take your breath away, isn't it? Speaking of looking like you're walking through a church, look at this. Now this is definitely making my head spin. Oh my word. Wait a second, are you taking my picture? Are you doing video of me? Doing video of you?
Yes.
Basically, we are here in Whitby for 2 days. And it turns out that the first day is devoted all to Whitby Abbey and St. Mary's Churchyard and the 199 steps. And I'm sure we're gonna try to get some other stuff in, but If this was all that it was, I'm okay with that. Hey, look at that. That's the little walkway that we came down. Just picture, I mean, of course this place is in ruins, but just try to picture what this place looked like way back in the day. And at nighttime, in October, they light it up. It's beautiful. Now what I think is amazing, everybody that is here has a look of complete awe on their face. Whether they're taking a picture, just walking around with a loved one, or just by themselves, there's kids running around having fun. It is just beyond beautiful. It's funny, every time we do a video, we always tell people to look up. This is one of those rare occasions where we're going to tell you to look down. So when you come out of the Abbey ruins themselves, the Whitby Abbey, if you look down right here, you see this? Now they got it blocked off with some lights for at nighttime because they're bringing people up here at night. Pretty wild, right? Because it's October, the Halloween season, Whitby Goth Weekend is going to be happening very soon. We are not going to be here for that. A lot of people think we are going to be coming. Obviously, it's the most obvious choice, but we are here before that. Not sure when this video will come out, but throughout the month of October, they do ghost walks up here. They tell you stories, whether they're real or not, whether they're true or not. It's fun. I mean, after all, this is the home of Dracula. I have to stand back and just take it in. Wow. Looks like they have a museum and a gift shop right next to the Abbey as well. So let's go inside and take a look, and I'm hoping they have some gargoyles or some more stuff about Bram Stoker. And we're not going to show you guys everything. A few things here and there, but if you look on the far left, 1890, there's Bram Stoker walking up the 199 steps. That's fun. It's like a little timeline going all the way back. They have some of the Gothic architecture on display here, like gargoyles and faces. It's pretty neat, pretty wild. Beautiful, right? Creepy as well. Can't forget creepy. Now before we get to the gift shop, I want to point out this little display that's down here at the base of the steps. And quite honestly, probably not the best place to have something like this because everybody's been stopping, including us. But we're going to talk about this later on, but pay close attention to this. Right here on the box, it says Demeter Varna, case number 23. This is in the book Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is the name of the boat that Dracula is coming across to England on. But it's based off of a real shipwreck that happened 5 years prior to Bram Stoker getting here. But what I'm getting at is this. This is further proof that Bram Stoker took inspiration from Whitby. In the book, Demeter Varna, in real life, the shipwreck that happened 5 years prior to Bram Stoker getting here was called the Dmitri. It was a Russian schooner, and it was from a home port called Narva. Mix the letters around, Dmitri and Narva. Now you have Demeter from Varna. See what I'm getting at? I just find little things like that fun. And this is a neat way to do this. I mean, you got pages from the book right there, and then you got the black dog running up the 199 steps to the Abbey right there. Fun, right? Here's a fun little cutout of Whitby Abbey. I'm loving the origami bats. Look at that. That is beautiful. Potion of Dracula, and right next to that, they have plum brandy, but it comes in a coffin case. Oh my God, I love it. We are not wine drinkers, but they have a couple different bottles of wine here. This was Dominion Dracula, and then bat's blood. All of this made in Transylvania, for real. Well, at least that's what the sign says. This bottle of wine has a castle on it with the bats. And if you happen to be gin drinkers, oh, look at this. The Prince of Darkness edition. Not a gin drinker, but I think I might have to get that. We're definitely walking away from here with something. I feel like we have a couple editions of Dracula at the house, but we do not have one that's illustrated by Edward Gorey. And I think we're gonna buy this one here. It's 30 pounds. Beautiful book. I love that it's got bats on the binding there. And the reason why we're gonna buy this here is they actually offer, it says right here, if you would like your copy of Dracula stamping to show you bought it from Whitby Abbey, please ask the retail till. You're darn right we want it. Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. So cool. Thank you so much. So now we're going to walk down to something called Tate Hill Sands, which is a beach that sits below East Cliff, which is where you'll find Whitby Abbey. Now, Tate Hill Sands can be seen, or dare I say, can be read in Bram Stoker's novel for Dracula. This is where his version, well, his ship, the Demeter, crashed on the shores and Dracula as a dog ran up the steps. It's a real place. Again, the ship from Bram Stoker's novel is real. Well, at least it was based off of a real ship. 5 years prior to Bram Stoker being here, there was a Russian, I keep calling it schooner, but we think it's called a schooner. A Russian schooner called Dmitri from the port of Narva, shipwrecked here at this beach. Jumble the words up, and then you have Bram Stoker's Demeter from Varna. Because this video is all about Bram Stoker and Dracula, from here on out, we're just going to keep referring to this part of the story as the Demeter, the shipwreck of the Demeter, which happened right over here at Tate Hill Sands, this beach that's right past Jessica. Now, in the story, like we said, Dracula in the form of a dog, and there's a dog right there, comes running across the beach, up the steps to the Abbey. It's crazy. It's crazy to be standing here. There's a boat going out into the water right there. Wait, okay, now baby goal, there are dogs everywhere. Which one do you think is Dracula? The pier that stretches out across the beach is known as Tate Hill Pier, and the plaque says an ancient pier, possibly the oldest in England, if not the world. Now I want to draw your attention to this picture over here in the top left. I'm going to take a look at this. It says, pictured is the wreck of the Dmitri of Narva, which ran aground in August of 1855. Bram Stoker visited Whitby, and the wreck was an inspiration for his famous novel Dracula, which was published in 1897, in which he renamed the ship, see it? Demeter of Varna. Crazy, right? You see these buildings that are behind us? Behind those buildings is the 199 steps that Dracula in the form of a dog climbed up. And on top of East Cliff, which is way above the buildings that are behind us, is the Abbey. So we're standing right here in the novel itself.
I never thought in my entire lifetime I would be standing in a place that would be connected to Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Crazy, right?
It's a bit dizzying. Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, this is the start of it. Like, we are in the novel itself right now, during October, during Halloween. I had to walk all the way down here to the end of the pier. Just look up, see what we can see. You can see people over on the right-hand side walking up the 199 steps. That is the church. And you can't see the Abbey from here, from the pier. It's still pretty beautiful. I turn the camera this way. This is further inland. Got the sun. And you know what? It's not the greatest smell in the world, but we do have some traps here. What are they, for crab? Oh, I can't believe I'm getting this close to it. There's some seagulls over there. I'm kind of sneaking up on them. They're saying something. Now this is the closest I'm gonna get. I'm not a fan of birds. Nope. Walking around taking in the Halloween decorations, we were ultimately looking for this, Bram Stoker's Dracula experience. If you didn't know this about Jessica, she is obsessed with Bram Stoker's Dracula, and guess what? They have a throne here. Oh yeah. How fitting is this? Now, baby girl, they are allowing us to film in here, but we're not going to show everything. Just enough. For a second, I thought maybe Dracula wasn't going to let you in. But we're not going to show everything, just enough to whet your appetite, whet your fangs. Whoa! All right, that kind of came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting something to move.
That may imply the chase is over. Touch nothing. Touch nobody in here.
Oh, I love it.
Come closer. After traveling to Castle Dracula in Transylvania, Jonathan Harker is held prisoner by the hypnotic charms of Dracula's vampires. Dracula
this is cool.
wants to take over the soul of Jonathan's fiancée.
There's a sign here that says this cloak was worn by Christopher Lee in the Hammer Dracula film from 1958 to 1973. This looks like a little setup of Whitby itself. Just got the ship's mast. Oh, I love it. There's something everywhere to look. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, this is fun.
Vampires do exist. And this one we fight, this one we face.
After a nice little walk up the steps to the Abbey and do some shopping, coming in here and seeing this. It's a little dark, to be honest. It could be a lot lighter in here, but for what it is in Whitby, look at that.
Has the strength of 20 more people.
Oh my word. Oh, I love it. 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 So if they were to have a scare actor in here, I wonder where on earth it would be. Well, it wasn't the best museum that we've ever visited, especially on a travel in a spooky place like this. But you have to hand it to them. It's the Dracula experience, the Bram Stoker's Dracula experience in the town of Whitby, the home of Dracula himself. So it was all right. It was all right. If you're looking for something to do, do it. But don't expect to be like, hike the stairs. Hike the stairs. We finally made it down to the end of the street, and we've been seeing these all over the place. They're like these metal sculptures of people either cleaning fish or sea captains. They are kind of cool, kind of creepy at the same exact time. But this one, since it's down towards the end of the street, we're gonna head up the hill towards the whale bones and where Bram Stoker was staying whenever he came here for holiday. But look at this view. That is where we started our trip keep pointing out things. That right there is the 199 steps. There's the church, the cemetery is around it. The Whitby Abbey is a little further past. That's the pier that we were on a little bit ago, and that right there is where Dracula's boat crashed. Well, it wasn't his boat. It was carrying his coffin and the dirt from his homeland. And then he turned into a dog, and then he ran up through the houses, up the 199 steps, to the right of the church, to the churchyard. It's crazy, right? This will always blow my mind. I'll always remember this trip. There are a ton of people down there by the water. It's like the high tourist spot. And I'm off the beaten path. Right now I'm walking up a street. I do believe it's known as Khyber Pass. And I'm looking for a bench that is dedicated to Bram Stoker. And it doesn't look like anybody else is around here. It just kind of got me scratching my head. One, am I in the right place? And two, why is nobody else here? Huh. You can even see Whitby Abbey all the way across the water, the steps. Man. Now here's a question for you. Does this view inspire you? Does it inspire you to write a gothic horror novel? Let's say like Dracula? Well, we found the bench. The bench that we were looking for, that is dedicated to Bram Stoker, is right there. Now when we get closer to this, you're gonna see it's got a little plaque on it. It says, "The view from this spot inspired Bram Stoker, 1847 to 1912, to use Whitby as the setting of part of his world-famous novel, Dracula. This seat was erected by Scarborough Borough Council and the Dracula Society to mark the 68th anniversary of Stoker's death, April 20th, 1980. Now this is what we came here for. A little bit of exercise to get to this one spot that inspired Bram Stoker to write one of the most famous novels in history, in the world. Does it get any grimmer than this? Does it get any better than this? Usually it does, but at this point, I don't know. I don't know. How do you top this? Even though it has nothing to do with Dracula. Another spot I always wanted to visit here in Whitby was the whale bone sculpture, which is this right here. It's pretty unique, never seen anything like this before. What I love about it, if you stand just right in it, it perfectly frames Whitby Abbey. Just something very, very unique. Right now we're on the other side of the water, about eye level to where Whitby Abbey is, but on the other side of town. And we were walking up Royal Crescent Street looking for number 6. And number 6 Royal Crescent Street, where Bram Stoker was living whenever he was here on holiday, is this building on the left that's kind of cream and peach. There's a black plaque. Oh, this is neat. And there's like nobody here. Nobody here taking pictures. Nothing. Well, okay, I said it was black, but looking, it looks like a really dirty blue. Like it could use some cleaning. Yeah, that's definitely blue. It just weathered over time. Whitby Civic Society. Bram Stoker, 1847 to 1912, author of Dracula, stayed here, 1890 to 1896. If I could be completely honest with you guys, I'm a little sad that there's not a lot of very unique stores, or like, gift shops here or strange stores in a place that has a very dark tie to Gothic literature. I mean, Dracula, I mean, come on. I feel like if you come here, the main draw for tourism is to just kind of get a map, plot out your points, and park the car and just walk around and take in the sights. And if that's all that you do, then it's perfect. And with that being said, thank you for joining us on another Grimm adventure to probably one of the most grimmest places we could ever go to here on this channel, the home of Dracula. Until next time, happy Halloween.
Wherever I come, bad luck just comes my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. Bad luck's always coming my way.